So this woman, her name's Amanda, and Amanda has a huge problem. She's a liar. A big liar. So one day, she's just chilling, I guess, and she decides to tell everyone she has cancer. Like, hey, I have cancer. Not only that, she starts a blog, and she starts writing about her experiences with it. And here she updates everyone about her symptoms and about how her treatments are going. And let me tell you, this woman is going the extra mile. She's buying used medical equipment to use as props in her photos. She's going into hospitals just to get pictures of herself, and then posting those pictures in her blog and on social media. She even shaves her head to make it look like she's going through chemo. So of course, this blog gets people's attention and it blows up. And people are inspired and they're giving her all kinds of love and emotional support. And during all this, one day, bam, Amanda gets pregnant. And everyone's like, oh shit, you're pregnant. Is the chemotherapy going to affect the baby? So she tells everyone, no, the pregnancy has reversed the cancer and that now she's cancer-free. And people believe her. Now, of course, a lie this big is eventually going to involve some money. So naturally, she uses this pregnancy and the cancer as an excuse to set up a donation link on her blog. But before anyone will donate, she has to tell everyone that the cancer has come back. And it's worse. So at 38 weeks pregnant, she tells everyone the cancer has returned and now it's stage 4. And predictably, people start donating money. Now at this point, she does have a lot of medical expenses, not from the fake cancer, but from the pregnancy. And she needs money. So she sets her targets on a place very well known for being full of gullible people. A megachurch. Now, Amanda's very religious. She's been going to this church for a long time. So she goes there and she goes to her pastor and she tells him this cancer story and she asks him if he can help. And the pastor, bless his heart, he helps spread this cancer story to the whole congregation. And he starts getting people to donate money to her. And the people at the church, they fall right into it. I mean, they feel bad for her. They love her story. And this goes on for a while. And then one day, they ask Amanda to get on stage and tell her story to the whole congregation, to the thousands of people attending every week. And Amanda, who really needs to keep this con going, she's like, all right. And then the day comes when she's supposed to speak. And the auditorium is packed and they set the mood with dry ice and there's dramatic music playing. And she walks up on stage and in front of everyone, she starts telling this made up cancer story. And the congregation believes every word of it. They are moved. They're on the edge of their seats. Some of them are crying. And when she's done speaking, a ton of them get up and they approach the stage and they literally start throwing money up on stage to help her pay for her treatment. And the church is celebrating her. They're hailing her as a hero. They're posting about her on their Facebook page. And from there, it all snowballs. Suddenly, she's getting up and speaking at her church every week. And people are donating to her online and they're holding fundraiser events like Facebook challenges, raffles, and gift cards, presents. They're giving her frickin' airline miles. Even country music singer Leanne Rimes hears the story and donates a signed guitar to Amanda's cause. I mean, at this point, Amanda has kind of become a local celebrity, and no one seems to be calling her on her bullshit. Until... At this point, the con has been going on for about 3 years. But one day, this woman, Nancy's an investigative journalist. And one day, she gets an anonymous email from someone. We still don't know who. Basically saying, I think this woman's faking cancer and scamming people at her church. I think you should look into this. Now, Nancy, her sister died from cancer, so she's immediately interested in this story. So she starts combing through Amanda's blog posts. She combs through years of posts, and she starts to find inconsistencies. Like treatments Amanda claims she did at home, but those treatments aren't available to do at home. Stuff like that. Nancy's calling people who know Amanda. She's calling hospitals and clinics Amanda was supposedly treated at. And eventually, Nancy has a ton of evidence. And she gathers it all and she gives it to the police. Now, police open an investigation into Amanda, but lying about having cancer isn't exactly a crime. So they pass this info on to the IRS. Now, during all this, word eventually gets back to Amanda that this investigative journalist, Nancy, is calling around asking questions about her, trying to prove she doesn't have cancer. And Amanda is not happy someone's trying to expose her con. So she files a restraining order against Nancy to stop her from investigating, but it ultimately gets denied by a judge. Then she files a civil harassment lawsuit against Nancy, and that lawsuit goes on for 2 years. And all Amanda has to do to win this lawsuit against Nancy is prove to the court that she has cancer, and she can't do it. So Amanda doesn't win, but unfortunately it does cost Nancy a ton of money to fight it. Meanwhile, back at the IRS, they start closing in on Amanda, because after all this time, they finally have proof of something they can pin on her. Wire fraud. Because remember, she had been accepting donations through her website, which is wire fraud. So finally, after all this has been going on 7 years, and she had conned over $100,000 in electronic donations from people, not to mention all the cash donations from her church and the thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gifts she had received over the years, police finally arrest her. She goes to trial, she pleads guilty to wire fraud, she's sentenced to 5 years in prison, and she has to pay the $100,000 back. Wow. Shout out to San Jose, California.